So EDC Mexico is happening right now. Some of my former coworkers are posting pictures from there, and I figured what better time to tell my EDC Mexico story because I've never told it. I don't even think I've told my mom, who's gonna watch this, and she might freak out. But we got to Mexico, and obviously, with a trip like this, when you're going for work, comes with a lot of precautions, a lot of like, here's things you do or don't do, whatever. Um, and it started like with obviously some of the best food and best beer we've had in a while, or I should say I had in a while. Um, we went to this restaurant as a team, got a great dinner, uh, and the next day went to the venue, checked out the venue, scoped it out, made sure everything was set up, dealt with all of the things that you normally deal with at a festival. Um, and we got to day one, and somewhere in there, I'm gonna try to make this not graphic as possible. But basically, my stomach turned against me, and I was basically, dividing my time between trying to get work done and living in the bathroom. And I thought everything was fine. I thought I could handle it. I thought it was just like, something upset my stomach and I would be good. So, we're at day one of the festival, and I was exhausted and I couldn't gather up the energy to do much. Uh, and at one point, there was like a room of like 12 of us. It was like the Insomniac team and the Mexico team. I'm forgetting the name of the company right now, and it's gonna bother me. But we're in this room together, all of like the social media marketing, whatever. And I lean up against the wall in the corner and bundle up into my sweatshirt, and I don't want to say I blacked out, but I just wasn't in the right space. And so one of my coworkers is like, "Hey, are you all right?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm just really tired. I don't feel 100%." And he went to the medical tent to get me something, but instead came back with two EMTs, Spanish speaking EMTs, who like hovered over me like right here. Um, and one of them was this adorable young woman. Like, she couldn't have been any older than me, and she's asking me like really personal questions, like in this space, just about the things my body had been doing, colors of things, scents of things. And then, they're looking at my tongue, and when they asked to look at my tongue, and they look at my tongue, both EMTs just kind of like pull back, and I'm like, wait, what? Luckily, one of my coworkers spoke Spanish, so he started talking to the EMTs. They had me lay down and were like pressing, like lifted up my shirt and were like pressing on my stomach. To which at the time it was actually kind of hilarious, and my friend Tony decided to Snapchat it. Whatever. Um, but so they took me to the medical tent because I was severely dehydrated, and which was weird because I was drinking plenty of water, or at least I thought I was, but my body wasn't holding on to it. Um, and so I'm lying in the medical tent, and these EMTs are like leaning over me. I think at one point it was like three or four, and they're like trying to find my veins, and they can't. And I'm like sort of coherent enough to be like, well, this is scary. But I would learn later that when you're dehydrated, it's really hard to find your veins to hook up an IV to you. Um, but eventually they did, and they hooked me up, and I took like 3 or 4 bags to get myself back to normal, which wasn't even really normal. And then I spent most of day two back in the hotel room. Yeah, and so in a nutshell, that was my EDC Mexico experience. I remember like being in the medical tent, and it was like just a giant like rave happening outside, but inside this white tent, all you could hear is this like really loud dance music, and I was like, okay, all right.